And the offense takes the field. This line of Light, Compton, Woody, Andruzzi, and Robinson Randall will guard quarterback Tom Brady.
As much as you want to say it's important to dwell on last week, Antoine Smith, great game. Edwards, Troy Brown, David Patton, Christian Fourier. The NFL right now is the church of what's happening now. And what's happening for New England is they have to free up Troy Brown. 1 touchdown this year.
From the 39-yard line, 1st and 10, and Brady right to work. With the rush from Brown, a pass is caught by Daniel Graham. Their much talked about rookie tight end who picks up 3. Then he is brought down on the play by Roosevelt Colvin. Graham makes his 8th reception of the season. So after the opening kickoff, 2nd down and 7 for the champion Patriots outside the 41. Antoine Smith with the block from Fourier, then wrapped up and brought down in the backfield by Reggie Austin after a gain of 5. He's up to the 47-yard line, and 3rd down and a couple to go. The Chicago defense coming into today, number 27 in the National Football League, 25 against the run, number 21 against the pass.
And for the Chicago Bears, Kevin, their defense is the key today. Going against this offense for New England, they cannot be cute. Brian Urlacher and his defense has to be physical. It's got to be a week of rest and ice for the New England offense if you're a Chicago Bears defender.
47-yard line, 3rd down and 2. Kevin Falk gets the snap and runs outside him. Brian Urlacher smells it out and brings him down at the 44. It's a loss in the play of 2 on the direct snap to Kevin Falk. And so the New England Patriots have got to punt the ball. On the line, Daniels, Christian Peter, Traylor, and Brown. Linebackers, Howard, Urlacher, and Colvin. Great play moments ago by Urlacher in the secondary. McQuarters and Azuma. Brown in the safety slot. So to punt, Ken Walter, who is dead last in the NFL in that category, gets off a rocket. Leon Johnson will let it bounce at about the 7, and it ricochets into the end zone. Across the plane. Touchback. 55-yard punt by a guy who averages about 38 yards per punt. Chris Chandler takes the field. He is 37 years of age. This will be his 3rd start of the year. Colombo, Gandy, Kreutz, Valerio, and Williams.
And they're the key. The offensive line's the key to the Chicago hopes today. I think this team has to be physical. You got A-Train's got to get going. Got to get the ball outside to White and Booker.
Johnny Davis, 1st down, 15, back at the 15 for Chris Chandler. Hand off Anthony Thomas, squeaks through for Otis Smith, brings him down along with Anthony Pleasant, sliding up to the 26 and picking up about 12 yards on the carry. The New England defense enters today, number 9 in the NFL, McGinnis, Hamilton, Seymour, and Pleasant. Linebackers in the middle, Brewski, flanked by Vrabel and Pfeiffer, and in the secondary, Law and Smith at the corners, Malloy and Jones are at the safety.
But Kevin, starting lineups for New England are very much a sort of for the families at home. This team has more specialists that do more different things well than any other team in the league.
And on 2nd down and a long 3 from the 27, the pitch out goes to 2nd-year Michigan Wolverine running back Anthony Thomas, who is brought down close to a 1st down on the far side. Over there making the stop with Steve Martin as you take a look at Dick Geron, now in his 4th year as the coach. Last year's coach of the year in the NFL.
And last year they won the close games. This year they're not. Last year they didn't get the key injuries. This year they are. Now they're hearing all the stories both in Chicago and I think around the country is, you know, was 2001 just a fluke?
Keys for the offense today for the Chicago Bears?
Run the ball. Run the ball, keep Tom Brady off the field, get Anthony Thomas going, and protect number 12, Chris Chandler. You give Chandler protection, he can hurt a defense.
1st and 10 from the 30. Whacked and taken down. Sacked on the play, streaming through Teddy Bruschi with his 3rd sack of the season. And back to the 24 and a loss in the play of about 5-6 yards. Let's go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Kevin and Randy. A lot of folks were watching this game. St. Louis and San Diego. Closing seconds, breeze to the end zone. Intercepted by Dexter McCleon to preserve the win. A 4th straight for the Rams. 28-24. Let's go back to you.
All right, thank you, Jim. That is the 12th blown fourth-quarter lead since 2000 for San Diego. Second down, 16, back at the 24. First possession this afternoon for Chicago, and the second time they're blown for a penalty.
False start,
Same
number
one.
75, offense. 5 yards, second down.
That's the rookie out of Boston College, Mark Colombo. Bill Belichick in his third year as the coach of the New England Patriots.
And Bill Belichick and Romeo Crennel, his defensive coordinator, want a defense on the field that is never in the spots that an offense expects, especially when they first break the huddle. You see the defense milling around in various spots, and Romeo Crennel there tells his linebackers, tells his defensive linemen, get into your stance late, only when you really have to. And the longer an offense stands around and watches, the better chance there is somebody's going to jump off sides.
Second down, 21. Back at the 19. Fake to Thomas, who offers the block, and outside it goes for Stanley Pritchett, who gets away from Smith and is belted on the side by Tabucky Jones, along with Ted Johnson. And on the play, a gain of about 5 yards up to the 24.
You saw that blitz by Teddy Bruschi a couple plays ago, Kevin. I think we have to go back and talk about that. That's exactly what I was talking about when I said if you protect Chris Chandler, you're going to have a heck of a chance of moving the ball. And if you get the inside blitz from a Bruschi or Ted Johnson or goodness, I mean, select a linebacker because they'll blitz anybody from anywhere, and you get up the face pressure like they blitzed on Bledsoe last week, you will not have success throwing the ball, and Chris Chandler will have a day-to-day like he had last year when he was with the Falcons against the Patriots.
And he can throw the long ball as well as anyone in the NFL. Third down, 16. On the 24, free down, Patriots offsides. Downfield it goes, incomplete, as he was aiming for Marty Booker. Green Bay looks like they're going to go to 8-1. First and 10, 36, the pitch out to Antoine Smith. Shifting gears, banged inside, and dives until he's brought down by Larry Wiggum. A hard-earned gain to 5 out to the 41-yard line.
And as the Buffalo Bills found out last week, Kevin, if you're going to come up and hit Antoine Smith, you better get a full pack. You better get his whole package when you hit him. He's going to spin out. He's going to keep grinding forward. Is he flashy? No. Is he quick to the line of scrimmage? No. If his offensive line can hold their blocks, though, he gets momentum, and he is tough to bring down.
That was his first 100-yard game last week at Buffalo. Now 2nd and 5 at the 41. Here comes Traylor. There goes Brady. He throws ahead. That is a pass, and it is caught by Antoine Smith back at the line of scrimmage. So instead of getting a loss with Urlacher and company streaming in, Brady somehow has the presence of mind to flip it ahead.
You know, turnabout is fair play when you think about it, because if you want to you want to come right up into the face. Right up into the face here of Tom Brady. And however you can do it, that's how you do it. Do you bring Urlacher? Yeah, but one thing you don't want to do, how do you turn Keith Traylor? See big Keith there, 94? How do you turn him loose right in the quarterback's face? That's 350 pounds of love coming at your #1 guy.
That's a lot of love. Third and a long 5. Kevin Fulks got the first down. Breaking a tackle by Brown. A block ahead by Givens. And there he goes. A flag is down at the 42-yard line. A 34-yard gain as it stands right now.
I think this is going to go against New England. Chop block.
Personal foul, illegal crackback, number 83, offense. 15-yard penalty, third down.
So back it goes, and this has been a heavily penalized Patriot team this year.
And it couldn't come at a worse time, because a perfectly executed and planned play there by Charlie Weiss, the coordinator for New England. And Deion Branch, the rookie, one thing Charlie didn't really draw up when he drew that up was having to remind the rookie, I guess, that you can't come back in motion and then hit another defender down below the waist. Hit him down low when he's already engaged.
Falk remains in the game. Third down and 20 at the 25. Urlacher goes back in pass coverage. Outside it goes for Troy Brown, dancing his way. Blockers ahead, including Brady. A block by Falk, a block by Brady, and they'll still be shy of the first down. He picks up about 9 on the play, and all that running produces that. And New England, for the second consecutive possessions, got a punt.
As we all know, they don't throw a whole lot of balls down the field. They're short passing teams.
33-yard line, 1st and 10 for Chicago. They get Leon Johnson in the game. And he runs for a gain of 2 and then brought down by a host of defenders, including the guy right there, Bobby Hamilton. What would you do if you're Chicago?
Well, number one, what I'd do is I'd try to spread this defense out. I would, by formation, bring in some wide receivers, get this defense thinking horizontal on a football field and not just everybody jamming in between the hash marks and letting Romeo Crennel's defense just stuff you up inside between the guards, because that's where they're attacking, inside.
2nd down and 8 from the 35. Pritchett in the backfield. Johnson split as a receiver at the top of his screen. Colombo's got a block, and there's a pass to Des White, belted by Ted Johnson, close to a 1st down up to the 43.
And Des White at the end of that run, you see what he did? He didn't get tricky. He didn't get cute. He just went right straight up the field. When you catch a crossing pattern like this and you're a young receiver out there, catch it, get your bearings, and get up the field and get all the yards you can. If you're lucky, you're going to get a 1st down. Des White came up short, but that's what this team needs. They need positive yards after the catch.
Leon Johnson remains in the game. 3rd down, short yard from the 43. Johnson. He was hit hard on the play by Malloy, but not after he gains 4 yards, and a Chicago 1st down to the 46.
Well, you got to really like what Chicago's offense does. Watch the crease they open up right here with Olin Kreutz, the center, and Lawyer Malloy comes up and tries to make the hit, but they block it so well, so crisp, and so clean. Lawyer Malloy can only get there in about time to hit Anthony Thomas and hold him to only a 4 or 5 yard run.
1st down and 10 from the 46. Chandler outside, looking comfortable with that pass to Marty Booker, and then he's tripped up on the play by Roman Pfeiffer after a gain of 3. I say he looks comfortable. A lot of people think that Chandler hasn't looked all that comfortable in this offense.
And rightfully so. You know, Chris Chandler, they made a big deal a few weeks ago saying, you know, this is an NFL record. Chris has started for his 8th NFL team. Well, you know, one of the big problems that Chris has in this system isn't so much learning a new system. It's purging the last 7 out of his head. Now, how do you just forget offenses, much less how do you learn a new one? But remember, keep spreading them out. Don't bring the defense into the middle of the field.
49-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Leon Johnson. Not much there. Pfeiffer and Bruschi with the gain of 2, pushing him past midfield to the 49.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you get in there and start doing that, you're going to have a serious problem, because you're going to get the strength of this defense is right here and right behind Richard Seymour. You want something to emphasize? You get that young 93 working against Olin Kreutz. Got any motion there? Think there's anywhere to go? Spread out the defense.
Chandler now faced with 3rd down and 5 from the Patriot 49. Leon Johnson, former New York Jet, is in the backfield. Chandler looking one way, no one home. Now he's got to run past the 45, has the 1st down, and slides to the Patriot 35. A 14-yard scramble. Easily the longest run for this season for Chandler, and a 1st down for the Chicago Bears.
And as you can notice here, none of Michael Vick's speed rubbed off on Chris Chandler last year in Atlanta. But what you don't have when you're a young guy like Michael Vick is you don't have the kind of savvy to look down the field, see the style of defense, that they're manning your guys down the field, and you have 20 yards open in front of you. That's nice read. That's the definition of an experienced vet taking exactly what the defense will let them take.
1st and 10 on the 7th play of the drive from the New England Patriot 35. Leon Johnson at the top of your screen. Pritchett in the backfield with the block, and little dump pass across the middle, dropped by Marty Booker. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, we've already seen, Kevin, some jump off sides and some mistakes by Chicago. And if you wanted to contrast, how do you win football games? You took a tape of 2001 for this football team. You could make a highlight film of the things you have to do to win a game. By the same token, Dick Duran could make you a highlight film this year, 2002, of the things you do to lose football games. There's the key that Dick Duran needs right there. He has got to stop making the mistakes as a football team that lose games.
2nd down and 10 from the 35. Fake to Johnson, blocked by Pritchett, and the pass. Caught by the tight end, John Davis, tumbling to the 25, picks up 9. And Davis brings him close to a first down.
I like the offensive game plan so far. They're not spreading about it obviously as much as I'd like to see, but what they're doing is they're bringing them in different directions. They're giving them different look. They're giving them counters, and they're freeing up different receivers. They're not getting zeroed in on Booker or White or Anthony Thomas. I don't think New England came into this game worrying much about Davis, number 82, but they might want to start. They keep spreading them into these situations.
2 tight ends, 3rd down and 1. Outside the 25 of New England, Leon Johnson. Belted and brought down by Jarvis Green. Much talked about rookie out of LSU. On this drive, the Bears have converted 3rd and 5, 3rd and 1, and now 3rd and 1 again. And they've done it with the A-train, Anthony Thomas on the bench, and Leon Johnson in there.
And a drive like this has got to do wonders for the confidence of an offense that rightfully wouldn't have much confidence coming into this game. Didn't do much against Philly last week, squandered quite a few opportunities, especially in the second half. But the key right now, you finish it with a touchdown, not with a field goal against a favored team like New England.
About a 6-minute drive for the Bears. Leon Johnson on the pitch. And squirms his way for perhaps a yard. That's about it. Coming up with the stop is Roman Pfeiffer. It'll be 2nd down and 9. What'd you see in the win last week for New England? What was different about that team last week as compared to the previous 4 games?
Well, I guess it's something I love to talk a lot about this time of the year, and something that Bill Belichick's team last week really had. They had focus, and they had an attention to detail. His defensive players were exactly where they're supposed to be. The offensive players were exactly where they were supposed to be, and they were focused.
Might be a springboard. 2nd down, 9 inside the 25. Outside they go to Pritchett. Getting brought down by McGinnis, and the tackle made at about the 21. Gain of about 2.5 on the play. Let's make our 2nd trip to New York and check in with Jim Nantz.
All right, Kevin and Randy, and here's the final on Carolina, New Orleans. Rodney Peete, they're down 3, and it's ruled the fumble. Charles Grant will run it in. For the folks who like the Saints today by a lot, well, they're happy. 34-24. They're now 7-2 with their victory today. Winners by 10. Let's go back to Kevin and Randy.
John Fox has got to be just shaking his head off to such a good start in Carolina, but he doesn't have something Bill Belichick has. Belichick's got a quarterback. Fox has.
Bears are on the move, faced with 3rd down and 6. Inside the New England 22. Patriots have had it twice. And 2 possessions of 3 and out. They punted both times. Chicago punted the first time they had it. Looks like New England is going to call timeout.
Little confusion there on what exactly.
Just watched New England take their first timeout after the break. So this is the first play of the 2nd quarter. 3rd down and 6. 12th play of the drive for the Bears inside the New England 22. Johnson in the backfield and to the end zone. And it is dropped. Incomplete, looking for Marty Booker. Now New England has it 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Fake handoff to Smith, and outside they go to Mark Edwards with his 14th reception of the season. The tackle made by McQuarters. It's a gain on the play of a couple yards. We'll call it 3 up to the 32. I would assume this week New England very preoccupied in how to negate the great middle linebacker for the Bears, Brian Urlacher.
You know, more than anything else at this point, he's the first one to admit after only 3 years at middle linebacker, he's a great tackler and a great pursuer, but I don't think he's a great linebacker yet. Ray Lewis is a great linebacker. Brian Urlacher is more of a tackler / overall defender than he is really a linebacker.
Brady empties the backfield and 2nd down and 8, and that ball is dropped on a quick cross. In the middle it was Roosevelt Colvin winding up and teeing up Troy Brown. Incomplete, 3rd down.
And Roosevelt Colvin is a guy that Bill Belichick and all the Patriots spend a lot of time talking about when they talk to us. You know, for all the talk about Urlacher, Colvin's one with 7 sacks. Urlacher has 3. Colvin's a guy, when you got Holman on the other side who's on injured reserve and Urlacher, you've got the best young linebackers in the NFL. And Roosevelt Colvin is one of the true best-kept secrets in this league, a guy that can really play the game.
Smith in the backfield on this 3rd and 8 from the 32 for Brady. Snap from Compton. Good time in the pocket. Good block by Light. That's going to be short, although the catch is made by Troy Brown. He picks up 7, tumbling to the 39. Had to get beyond the 40. And so now New England has got to punt for a third consecutive time, a third consecutive 3-and-out.
And this is just what Bill Belichick was talking about to us last night. This is a field position game. And when you get in field position games, it usually comes down each half to a big mistake, to a big play or a big turnover. Going for it.
It's a fake. And on the quarterback sneak, they get it.
And that qualifies as a big mistake. You're willing on your own 39.5-yard line to go for it. That's Bill Belichick saying, you know, I think I've outplanned you. I think I can outguess you. And I know I've got some guys on my side that can outplay you.
Damon Heward is the one who is in back, as you see, number 19. And they sent Walter, the punter, out on the wing. And they put Givens in the backfield. That is a first down up to the 43-yard line.
And you've got guys looking around like, what in the heck was that?
Smith in the backfield, and Brady right to work. And fires a pass outside. It's caught by Troy Brown. Brown in his previous 2 receptions had been short on third down plays. That's a gain of 4, and he's up to the 47-yard line. And coming up in the Nextel halftime report, we can join Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report from New York.
Well, we mentioned earlier about how this is kind of the NFL's the church of what's happening now. And so far, this first half is a good indication of how important your last game is now in the NFL, because it's not doing either team much good.
47-yard line. Smith in motion out of the backfield. Second down and 6 for Brady. Right down the middle. And it's caught by Troy Brown to the 37-yard line. Picks up 16 yards on the play as he was working on Mike Brown. No relation. A first down for New England.
There's Troy Brown right there getting ready to go. Urlacher's going to come up, and right here, there's Urlacher. There's Troy Brown. Great planning by Charlie Weiss of getting a mismatch inside, confusing safeties and linebackers.
That's the third catch by Brown on third down today inside the Chicago 38. First down for Brady with Edwards on the move and Smith following the block. And into Caldwell, who makes the tackle for Chicago at the Bear 32-yard line on a gain of 5. The New England Patriots, Randy, have been putting more emphasis on their opening script. We saw it last week in Buffalo, and they pre-planned early this week on a Wednesday distribution.
And one thing you did when you planned early is you planned on running right at this defense. You plan on double teaming Keith Traylor. You plan on exposing the inside of this Bears defense. That's where you run against Chicago, not sideline to sideline. You get it inside.
We've played the drive, 32-yard line. Back he goes. Smith with the loss on the play of 3, and former drafted New England Patriot Christian Peter is there with the stop on the Bears defensive line.
You see why the Chicago Bears defense is a strength of this team. I mean, they're a physical team, but I still think when you attack this defense, despite as good a play as that was by Christian Peter, you get after him inside, and you don't let Urlacher run sideline to sideline. You go right at him.
Smith in the backfield, third down and 8. Patriots at the Chicago 35. You see their third downs today. Snap by Compton. Hit by Colvin. Brought down. Alex Brown, the rookie from Florida, and Roosevelt Colvin, who Randy was talking about seconds ago, with that sack, which effectively pushes New England out of field goal range.
Roosevelt Colvin coming from the bottom of the screen right here. Watch him come around the right side of the defense. Just a quick job on Robinson Randall, the offensive tackle. That's a pure speed rush. That's great execution by the defense. You can't leave those things laying around.
That's right. Wear your hat. Keep your head on. They got Anthony Thomas in the backfield, and he gets the call. Tripped up as he dives ahead to the 38, picking up 6 yards the quick way.
Just a little attention to detail, just a little something you're not doing perfectly can stop a drive.
Bears have to get to the 42, third down 14.
Okay.
Chandler, the pocket crumbling, fires, bobbled, reeled in by Marcus Robinson, and he is close to a first down up near the 42-yard line on 3rd and 14. Looks like he's got 13 yards. And is Jim Miller, who started last week for the Chicago Bears against the Philadelphia Eagles. First down and 10, 43. Leon Johnson wants to throw and does. Downfield. He's got Booker. And he's out of bounds in Patriot territory. If they called it a catch, they're discussing it. They have. And the ball will be spotted at the 31-yard line, a 26-yard connection.
There's Leon Johnson. Check him out. If you're going to be crazy and do stuff out of the box, you might as well get all the way out of the zip code of the box. And this surprises everybody in the stadium, including Bill Belichick and his staff. Tabucky Jones gets there late. Leon Johnson says, what's the big deal? I had it in me all the time.
You got a quarterback who can't throw, so go to your running back, your receivers to throw the ball. Inside the 30 of New England, first and 10 for Chicago. Anthony Thomas trying to find a Chris Valerio block, and you can see an avalanche of Patriots right there. Very little gain on the play, second down and long.
And what we're seeing too, Kevin, here today is a very crisply well-played half by the Chicago Bears against a team coming off a huge win. And you don't need a better illustration than this half, really, to tell you how important games are from week to week. We tend to really just sort of crown these teams that do so well and degrade these teams that do so poorly on a week-to-week basis. I mean, New England is nowhere near the team they were last week, and Chicago is much better than they were last week.
Inside the 30s, second down and 9. Miller across the middle, caught by Pritchett. Brought down on the play by McGinnis. It's a gain of 7 yards, and it's to the 22-yard line. And I'm assuming that Jim Miller's passes, for the most part, will be about that length most of the day.
Can you say Hervé Villachez? Short, very short, be very short passing game.
They're playing.
That's right. They're all short. You know, and you know, if you're going to be crazy, maybe that's the theme that they need here in Chicago for the rest of the defense ever. And a 350-pound fullback, you got a little bit of an edge going in.
From the 24, first and 10 for Brady across the middle to Troy Brown, chased by Urlacher, whacked by McQuarters, and he's up to the 35 for a gain of 11 and a first down. What about adjustments, Randy? Have you seen any on either side?
Well, you're not going to see much in the way of adjustments yet. You're going to see Troy Brown coming out here, working across the field, and it's what Troy Brown does well right now, because they're not getting Troy Brown open much down the field in the long pass. He's only got 1 touchdown this year, way down from last season where he was such a big hit.
Brown hasn't got a touchdown in 7 weeks. 5 catches today, though, most on third down. From the 35, first and 10, outside they go to Antoine Smith with his 13th reception of the season. McQuarters makes the tackle, no gain on the play. Word from the sideline about Bears quarterback Chris Chandler, a neck sprain, and he is questionable with his return.
You mentioned earlier about adjustments. And if you're the staffs right now, you've almost started your second half adjustments from what they've seen. And Tom Brady and this offense are going to go in at halftime, look at the snapshots, and make some adjustments to what they're really being offered, because they're being confused right now by Chicago's D.
Second down and 10. Big hole for Antoine Smith. The Mike Green quickly shuts the door. Gain of 2 to the 42-yard line. This week, log on to NFL.com as Phil Simms offers his thoughts on the worst and most annoying cliches you hear during game telecast. What's this? It's a can't miss read. Forget this. Don't even know. NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com.
Hey, you're taking one game at a time, you know.
You got to come to play. He's a gamer, Tom Brady, with third down and 3.
Watch Troy Brown in motion.
Snap by Compton. The block by Light. The pass across the middle is incomplete. And out of the reach of the diving rookie tight end, Daniel Graham. And again, New England has got a punt.
And Mike Caldwell on coverage there. He was brought in here. The Bears having to play every single game as a road game. They need to finish that stadium fast.
Yeah, they fly down to Champaign, which is about a 20-minute flight, but they're nonetheless getting on a plane every weekend. From the 13, first and 10, they dump it outside. Anthony Thomas got down by Otis Smith. We've called his name a lot. He's a 13-year veteran out of the University of Missouri. Gain of 4 on the play.
If you're a New England Patriots defensive coach and you're talking about adjustments, and you've got guys like Otis Smith and Teddy Johnson and Teddy Bruschi, and there's Romeo Cornell, the defensive coordinator, Chris Chandler's gone. So unless Marty Booker or Leon Johnson throw the ball down the field, you don't have to worry much about the deep pass. You're worrying about mainly short dink and dunk type passes. You can pack up your defense more against the run and on a short pass.
Just outside the 16, second down and 6. Jim Miller blocked by Big Cat Williams. Time for Miller, fires a pass which is caught by tight end John Davis. It's a gain of 8, brought down by Roman Pfeiffer, and he is up to the 25-yard line for a Chicago first down.
Got to give this Bears defense all the credit in this.
42-yard line, it's a handoff, and Kevin Falk zigzags his way, and a block from Compton, and down he goes with Urlacher making the grab. It's a gain of 9. The interesting thing was New England has tried to get better starts because they've been falling behind at halftime in many games this year.
Well, that's because their game plan does not allow for that. No one has a game plan to be down 10-0, 14-0, 20-0.
Second down, 41-yard line. Urlacher rushing, but there he dumps it off. And it's caught by Kevin Falk with the nice downfield block by Andruzzi. Out of bounds he goes inside the Chicago 35. It's a gain of 26. The versatile Kevin Falk out of LSU.
Great smarts and guts by Brady there, holding that ball until Urlacher was just there to open up that side of the field.
Nextel halftime on deck from New York. Jim Dion, Dan and Boomer set to give you scores and news of the day. The Nextel halftime from New York is next. At the 34, it's 1st and 10. Falk remains in the backfield. Brady. Nice block by Robinson Randall. This is off to Deion Branch, who wiggles his way inside the 25, close to a first down. He had to get to the 24. They spot it shy by a yard.
Nice adjustment because Mike Caldwell took that reception away and adjusting inside opened it up.
Second down, 125 across the middle. And slashing is Troy Brown for a first down to the Chicago 16. The Patriots have a timeout, and they burn their last
Is to pull off some of the things they're going to want to try to do.
His long completion today has been 8 yards. Second down, 10 from the 31. The pitch out to Anthony Thomas. A little bit of blocking, but not too much Ty Law to make the stop. You know, speaking of John Shoup, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, he's been taking some heat, and the problem, people say, is he's too conservative. What do you think?
Well, all offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators take a lot of heat, especially when things aren't going well. You know, everyone wants to say, hey, look, when you're down, you got to be even more special. You got to be even more imaginative. Well, yeah, that's not how you prepare for a football game. You don't prepare to get down like that. The main criticism I can see that is warranted with this offense, the line's too soft, and they don't go downfield often enough.
Johnson and Thomas in the backfield, third down 10, 31-yard line. Blocking for Miller, who fires again a wobbly pass intended for Marcus Robinson, who is covered by both Victor Green and Otis Smith. And 3 and out for the Chicago Bears. They got a punt.
All revolve around their offensive line. Better run blocking and better protection for Brady.
23-yard line, 1st and 10. The pitch out goes to Antoine Smith, who tries to cut the corner, then is brought down by Mike Green. There has been some shuffling on that offensive line, Randy, for New England, and Charlie Weiss is starting the same unit for the first time, a second game in a row, like he did last week against Buffalo.
Well, Kenyatta Jones was starting 2 weeks ago, and today he's inactive because Greg Robinson-Randall is in at right tackle, and you know, Damian Woody, the center, probably the best player. Compton, the left guard, becomes the center when they shotgun snap, but as a unit, it's going right at this Bear defense. Don't go sideways. You're playing into their strength.
Second down 10. The Patriots going into the wind. The block by Robinson Randall, but then the pocket crumbles. It's a fumble and recovered by the Chicago Bears inside the New England 15. Grabbed, I believe, by Philip Daniels inside the ex-Seattle Seahawk, who smothers the ball. It's the first turnover of the game.
You want to talk about the things that turn a game? How do you turn a game? You get up the field if you're Alex Brown. You get up the field if you're Philip Daniels. You crush the pocket. The offensive line, they were going to get the run blocking going and protect Brady better. The defensive line made the better adjustment, nullifying anything that Brady's offensive line tried to do.
That's a turnover story in their wins and losses this season.
And that was just good, clean execution, and that's the kind of play games turn on.
Bears have it, 14-yard line on the turnover, first down and 10. Anthony Thomas around a Valerio block and diving for 3 near the 11.
But Kevin, remember what Dick Duran said to Beasley when they were going in at the half. You know, things are good. It's a defensive game, but when we get these chances, we got to finish it off with a touchdown. Because you can look at these possessions against a team like New England at the end of the game and go, man, if we'd only had those extra 4 points, we'd have won or we'd have tied. Or when you get these circumstances, these opportunities, go for the throat, finish it off.
Second down and 7 from the 11. Miller to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown, Stanley Pritchett.
That all comes off Alex Brown's sack. Watch the running backs. Watch the effect it has on the defense. You'll see the linebackers move, and you'll see Roosevelt. I mean, he comes right out of the backfield and easily gets open. I mean, that is just a
known 22, first down and 10. Fake to Antoine Smith, and Brady goes the other way to rookie tight end Daniel Graham, who is smothered and brought down, devoured by Mike Brown, a loss in the play.
Emotionally, if they plan to match the emotion of the Bears, back to you.
Jim Miller makes his second consecutive start in New England territory from the 44, first and 10, end around. Looks like Booker wants to pass. The former high school quarterback downfield, and it's caught by Robinson with a Chicago touchdown.
Folks, this is now officially a sandwich game, and John Shoup and the offensive team for the Chicago Bears is so far out of the box, they're almost conventional. Marty Booker to Marcus Robinson, the box. So far, so good for the Bears.
The starter, Chris Chandler, was knocked out back in the first half, and here comes Brady on first and 10, sings it on the side, and it's caught by Patton. Close to a first down. He's out of bounds, shy of the 30. Monday in an all-new late show, Dave Wilkins, the one and only Robin Williams, plus from the CSI Miami show, Emily Proctor. And Tuesday, don't miss Dallas Cowboys star running back Emmitt Smith. It's the Late Show with David Letterman right here on CBS, America's most watched network.
Robin Williams, wow. Talk about out of the box.
Yes.
That boy ain't right.
Second and 1 handoff for no gain to Antoine Smith, who tried to carve something up the middle, and now Brady's going to have a 3rd and 1 with which to deal with.
And the defense of the Chicago Bears, you know, we got Boone inside, you got Urlacher at linebacker, you got Keith Traylor. Look at the guns. Hey, quit showing off, Brian. Come on, man. It's a family crowd. It's 3rd and 1. That's the down. That's the territory. The big wide bodies inside, stuffing his guards in the center back into Tom Brady's lap.
3rd down and 1. Play action by Brady, who goes outside, knocked away beautifully by Brian Urlacher on a pass intended for Mark Edwards, and the Patriots have to punt again.
If you're surprised by things that Brian Urlacher does, well, I'm sorry, you really shouldn't be. Because what Brian Urlacher does is goes this way as fast as any safety in this league. Former kick returner, former running back, former wide receiver, former safety at New Mexico. He breaks up. This year, it's been Chicago, but it sure as heck hasn't been today.
Anthony Thomas in the backfield from the 31st and 10, and Thomas, and you kind of have a feeling you're going to get a heavy dose of Thomas. A gain of 2, stopped up in the middle. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You've got a 2-touchdown lead. I think with your defense, there's a real argument to be made, you know, that, hey, I'm not going to get conservative. I'm just not going to do anything stupid. I think if you're Dick Duran and the Bears, though, working against this team, what you need to do is you need to keep doing what you've been doing. Don't get conservative. Don't get predictable. Just keep guessing right.
32-yard line, and Miller faced with a 2nd down and 8. Tight end Davis on the move, and Miller to the air. Short pass, incomplete, looking for Pritchett. He just caught one of his passes in the end zone. Bears cashed in on a New England fumble on an 11-yard touchdown pass from Miller to Pritchett. His first touchdown reception since 1999. And then a 44-yard touchdown pass by Booker, the former high school QB, to Marcus Robinson. They did it last year. They do it again this year. And that puts up the Chicago Bears 14 on New England.
And the little different things like that. We've had a halfback pass. Those are the kind of things the Bears can't get away from. You've got him here being creative and being tough on defense. Don't change now.
3rd down and 8 from the 32. Almost intercepted, incomplete, as Vrabel had it in his sights and in his hands.
You have to say that to yourself right now if you're Tom Brady. Just relax a little bit. I can make the plays.
Back outside the 23, 2nd down, 13. Good block by Robinson Randall, and it's intercepted. Brian Urlacher makes the theft. That's his first interception of the season, the 6th of his career. And the New England Patriots have turned it over for a second time today.
Watch Brian Urlacher right here the whole way. He'll never get out of your picture. He watches Brady. He watches Antoine Smith. He sees the ball. You tell me this guy wasn't a safety, kick returner, running back, wide receiver. That's an athletic move. When I said he wasn't really quite a great linebacker yet and said he's a good football player and a great tackler, he's a heck of a defensive football player right now. He'll develop into a great linebacker.
36-yard line, play action on 1st and 10 by Miller. A good block by Thomas, is running back, and it's incomplete downfield. It was looking for Des White. 2nd down and 10. Urlacher, coming into today, was the #1 tackler in the National Football League. Had 83 solo tackles.
Tell you, Kevin, he had Des White wide open right there. That could have been such a great job of taking advantage of a mistake. Remember the last mistake New England made, what they did with it. They took advantage of it. Exactly the same situation here. You want it a little further out, control the ball, put up the points.
2nd down and 10. Thomas getting a nice block from Pritchett, and there he goes. A foot race with Pfeiffer, and he is out of bounds at the 1. They'll spot him at the 2. 1st and goal, Chicago.
Are you kidding me? Is there any sanity in this league?
1 week you're a bum, the next week you're a hero.
The Colts look terrible. They go in and strum the Eagles today. Last week, the Bears offense couldn't play dead. Right now, going against the defending world's champions, they look like Walter Payton in the '85 Bears offense, doing the unexpected and pounding the ball. This is what you have to do when you get a mistake. You take advantage, and you smack the other guy in the mouth.
1st and goal. Around a crisp aerial block. It's an easy walk-in touchdown for Anthony Thomas.
At least 4 more times in this football game, but now's the time to start taking advantage of your possessions and get points.
25-yard line, 1st and 10 is Brady looking for his second option. Out of the backfield, Antoine Smith tripped up nicely on the play by Jerry Azuma. He gains 5 to the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, how often have we called Jerry Azuma's name today? How about R.W. McQuarters?
Not much.
How about the wide receivers for the New England Patriots? How big of a factor have they been? Not much. These defensive backs have locked up and locked down the biggest weapons for the New England Patriots.
No huddle offense, 30-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Brady across the middle. And he's got his tight end shy of a 1st down. That's for the first time today. Cameron Cleveland, the ex-New Orleans Saint. Cam Cleveland with his 13th reception of the year. He picks up on the play for 3rd and 1.
He's a good weapon on tight end. My favorite weapon they have, though, is the rookie, Daniel Graham. He can get down the field.
Very athletic. New England has not converted a third down today. 0 of 7. Now they do. Troy Brown, who they've gone to on previous third down plays, makes a catch, crosses the threshold. He's up to the 41, gaining 7 yards. Jacksonville on top of the Redskins. St. Louis coming from behind to beat San Diego, their second consecutive loss. First down and 10. Brady again. It's Troy Brown, a gain of 4 near the 45.
Hey, I brought up the analogy last night to Tom Brady about a boxer getting up on your toes and jabbing and hitting and really getting into that rhythm. And for the first time tonight, that's sort of what this offense is starting to look like. They're going not in a hurry up, but just sort of a no huddle. And they're back on the balls of their feet again. And they're bouncing and they're hitting. And that's what they need to do to get back in this game.
Second down and 6. Screen pass for Antoine Smith. The block downfield by Woody. Slashing inside. He takes it tumbling to the 36-yard line. 19-yard pickup and some good downfield blocking, which we saw last week from the Patriots in their win at Buffalo. And there is a Chicago Bear injured at about the 40.
The free agent is just now coming back. If you're Charlie Weiss, that's a guy you want to get matched up, see how the wheel's doing.
Falk in the backfield, 1st and 10. Fake to Falk, the fake end around, it's off to Falk. A block by Fourier, and downfield he goes after gaining about 14 yards. Another first down, stopping the clock. Oh no, they're going to leave it rolling. 3:50.
And they're not going to hurry up. This is not a hurry up offense. This is just no huddle. Years ago, Sam White had his team in Cincinnati do this, and they just disrupted the entire league doing it.
Dre Rugemer is now in at right guard. 1st and 10. Kevin Falk, a Rugemer block, and Falk head over heels down to about the 15 on a gain of 6. And Truzzi is out. Now, we saw him leave the locker room late out of halftime, and we have not seen him much in the second half.
The key word for people was that Chicago had a patient offense. Well, right now, Tom Brady and the Patriots are being very patient and efficient.
Second down 4, 15-yard line outside Kevin Falk. Has an open track and takes it in, corkscrewing for a touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown reception. Pritchett in the backfield by himself. It's Des White on the move. And a pass by Miller is intercepted by Otis Smith, who takes it down the side and inside the 25-yard line. That's his second interception of the season, a 23-yard return, and Chicago's first turnover. Jim Miller starts at his own 31, first down and 10 yards to go, and Anthony Thomas follows a Croops block and wiggles his way for about 3 at the 34-yard line. And at the bottom of the pile, Ted Johnson, who makes another start this week.
There's no telling with this Patriots defense, and that's true right now. You know, heading into the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, you know, what kind of combination are you going to see? Is Willie McGinnis going to be a linebacker or a defensive end? Is Romeo Crennel going to have 4 linebackers or 1 linebacker and 6 defensive backs?
Second and 7, shy of the 35. Play action by Miller. A pass outside, which is dropped by Pritchett. Can you feel a bit of a momentum change here?
Well, one of the things, if you're going to pass like this team leads the NFL in drop to dump off passes. They drop them to the right and they drop them to the left. And the biggest problem with that for Dick Duran and his football team is that 21-point lead is now an 11-point lead. And there's only 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the third quarter, but you've only taken about 3 seconds off the clock, it seems like.
Miller has missed his last 5.
But now you have to pass.
Yep. We got to get to the 41. They're shy of the 35. It's third down and 7. Here they come after him, led by McGinnis, and the pass thrown incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Davis. First play, fourth quarter, Brady 1st and 10. Out of the pocket, he scrambles, finds his fullback Edwards, and he bulldozes his way for a first down up to the 49, a gain of 13 yards.
And the reason I like it is that lack of kind of fire and emotion earlier in the Patriots. Maybe that's the jumper cables on the lips that might get this group a little more excited about what they're doing.
First down and 10. Falk in the backfield. Brady slings one outside, incomplete. Looking for Deion Branch. Second down and 10. Now the Bears made the interesting decision of taking the wind in the third quarter, thus giving New England the wind here in the fourth.
Well, and it's going to be a big deal, especially, remember, you're talking about an 11-point game. You're talking about one of the best kickers in the last decade or so in the NFL, and Adam Vinatieri, and a quarterback that can very well throw the ball down the field, and Tom Brady having the advantage of the win. In a field position game, don't ignore the elements.
Second down and 10. Falk in the backfield for Brady. White with the good block. That provides time for Brady. But now here they come at him. And he throws as he is whacked, and it's incomplete. Coming down on him hard, Brian Robinson. The recently highly signed and highly maligned Brian Robinson.
Well, the problem is he's been highly average.
Yes.
That's why Alex Brown has been starting for him. But I tell you, that case right there, you had a mobile quarterback. No one overcommitted. The defense stayed close, but more importantly, the linebackers and the defensive backs. Tom Brady's got nowhere to go. You know, and he just gets rid of it. His option is either to get rid of it or put a little mustard on it and eat it.
It wouldn't taste good. 3 of 11 on third downs today. Third down and 10. From the New England 49. With the empty backfield, Brady swings it outside. Caught by Edwards, who worked on McQuarters outside. A gain of 12 on third and 10 to the 39 of Chicago.
Great job right there by Charlie Weiss with formations. That was Edwards. Mark Edwards, the fullback, lined up as a receiver on the outside, running a quick slant. How many blocking fullbacks run quick slants in the NFL?
Not many. No huddle again. First and 10 inside the Chicago 40 for Brady. Dumps it across the middle. Troy Brown trying to squirm his way away from Jerry Azuma. Gain of 6 and down to the 33.
You're feeling a little different rhythm and a little different feel about this offense.
You always compare it to boxing.
The boxing, they're back on their toes. They had the touchdown drive, they were on their toes. Right now, they're back up on them.
Second down 4, Falk in the backfield, and Brady again outside. Looking for Fourier, the tight end, and the catch is made. And for a first down at the Chicago 28, a gain of 5.
And the important thing to remember also, Kevin, is when you're down by a lot like they were by 21, it's one big play, one first down, one score at a time. Don't overpress.
Where's the rush? I see no one in Brady's face.
Well, they're not getting the pressure they've decided they'd rather just cover.
First and 10, short pass again, and incomplete. No yellow on the field.
Jerry Azuma. That ball, Brady put so much smoke on it, I don't think Azuma knew how close to the ball he was by the time it went by him.
Well, this ball control offense, the short passes, we saw a lot of it last week against the Buffalo Bills, and it's been successful here lately for New England in this game.
You know, that's why you see receivers taking these big hits. Defenses are playing a soft cover 2. You have to throw short, and then the safeties get a chance to come up and just splatter people.
Second and 10, 28, and Kevin Falk. Brought down on the play by Ernest Grant, gain of 3 near the 25. Third down, and about 7 coming up for the Patriots, who have 2 timeouts in Chicago with all 3 of theirs. What'd you think of Belichick last night when we were talking to him?
He's about as calm and sort of bubbly at the same time as I've seen him. He's a guy, I think, very much in control of his team and in control of his emotions and organization.
Third and 7 from the 25. Brady moving up. He's got to get to the 18. Has the first down, sliding down to about the 14-yard line. The scrambling Brady picks up 11 on third down and 7. And again, New England moves the chains.
Tom Brady is one fired up cowboy right now. This kid is playing with the emotion and the sparks. He's complaining here. It says, they can't hit me from behind like that. That should have been a penalty.
13th play of the drive from the 13. First and 10. Kevin Falk finds a gap and goes into the grasp of Ernest Grant. He takes it inside the 10 near the 8. Gain of 5. Second down.
Well, the time to play soft and coverage is over for the Chicago Bears. They were a little bit too soft back there on that last play. They dropped off so much. Brady got that first down. Keep attacking this offense. If you let them keep coming at you and you let Tom Brady sit back there, you're going to blow this lead and you're going to lose this game.
Defense looks tired. 2nd and 5. Inside the 8. Great fake into the end zone. Incomplete for Troy Brown. Seductive move by Brady. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 5, and tonight on 60 Minutes, it's the most contaminated site in America. Where is it? Anniston, Alabama. Who did it? Monsanto. That's tonight on 60 Minutes. With Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan from Champaign. The Super Bowl champion New England Patriots trail the Bears 27-16. But Tom Brady is leading the team deep in Chicago territory.
Don't let Troy Brown catch us if you're Chicago. Double team him at least.
5 receivers deployed.
Comes the blitz.
And Brady to the end zone and broken up beautifully in the end zone by Todd McMillan, who has himself been maligned this season. 7-yarder. New England continues to chip away at that Chicago lead, and after his 25-yard boot moments ago, the ensuing kickoff is taken inside the 5. Lamont Merritt. There's some blocking ahead by Boone and by Leon Johnson. He takes it near midfield, and Chicago needed that in the worst way. A 44-yard return. The kickoff coverage for the New England Patriots has been poor at times this season.
And that's just part 1 of a 2-part prescription for the Chicago Bears that are getting just laid out time of possession-wise by the New England Patriots. Part B, finish this field position off with points.
New England has scored 13 unanswered points. It's Anthony Thomas for 4, grabbed by McGinnis, and he wiggles to the 47.
And Kevin, I talked about the prescription. There's another part of the prescription. The Chicago Bears, their offensive line, take control of the situation. Get your offensive coordinator, John Shute, calling the plays in here. Let the line take control of your game. You've tried cute, you've tried changing, and that hasn't worked. Just get physical. Try to be a Chicago Bears offensive football team that most people remember.
Chris Chandler started, sprained his neck in the first half. Jim Miller has come on, playing with severe tendonitis in his right elbow. 2nd down and 6. Anthony Thomas again. And drilled by Ted Johnson after a gain of 2 to the 46-yard line. 3rd down now and about 3.
And Dick Duran knows what he's facing on the other side when it comes to Bill Belichick and his defense. They're not worried about Jim Miller scrambling. They're worried about stopping the run, and they're worried about getting back defensively and trying to create another big play.
Has New England showed you as many looks as you thought you'd see today defensively?
Absolutely. They've had 2 down linemen, they've had 1 down lineman, they've had no down lineman.
Bears 3rd and 4. They missed their last 7 3rd downs from the 46. Miller crossing pattern. He's got Booker slashing his way to the 32-yard line. He picks up 14 on 3rd and 4.
We talked about the rhythm of New England's offense. Well, right now, Jim Miller and the Bears are up on the balls of their feet, and they've got a little rhythm going, too. They've got the jab working on New England. Finish off this drive with points. A field goal in this situation is plenty. Don't make a dumb mistake that costs you points.
Patriots have turned it over twice. Chicago has turned it over once on a Miller interception. 1st down and 10 with Chicago at the 32. Anthony Thomas. Roman Pfeiffer slowed him down after a gain of 7. In the second half, Chicago got on the board after a fumble. This 11-yard touchdown pass to Pritchett. Then Chicago with a 44-yard touchdown pass by receiver Marty Booker to Marcus Robinson, 20-6. And then that 2-yard touchdown run by Thomas, that touchdown pass to Kevin Falk, and then subsequent field goals of 42 yards by Vinatieri, and then moments ago a 25-yarder, which brings us to a 27-19 game, approaching 8 to play here in the 4th. 2nd down and 3 outside the 25. Thomas again, Pritchett the lead block. Cuts the corner, has the 1st down. And still on his feet. Brought down by Victor Green. He's to the 17-yard line with the pounding gain of 8.
And this is how you take control of a football game. You've lost control earlier. You start pulling your linemen, you start smashing the ball at Bill Belichick's defense, and you let time come off this clock, and you got great field position set up by your return team. Take advantage of this and put points on the scoreboard.
As you've talked about all game long, teams' attention to detail, so important, focusing on those small things that make the big things happen.
And the A train, Anthony Thomas, 87 yards. He's got to add to it, though.
1st and 10 from the 18.
Blitz.
Thomas, Valerio stood up his guy, but the rest come caving in, led by Ted Johnson and Victor Green. Gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9.
And this is sort of commitment to what you're doing, too, because Chicago is going to run this ball, and he's going to run the ball inside no matter what you're looking at. And what you're looking at right here is 2 linebackers, one in one A gap, the other one in the other A gap. One's Ted Johnson, he's blocked, but you can't allow inside for the other one. Victor Green, the safety, gets you.
Patriots have 2 timeouts. Chicago with 3, approaching 6.5 to play in the 4th. 2nd down and 9 from the 17. Thomas. There's a block by the tight end Davis, and they shove the pile backwards. A gain of 3, and he's inside the 15-yard line. Grab made by Bobby Hamilton.
I like what they're doing offensively. Obviously, you can tell by the tone of my voice, but I also like what they're doing with the ball. They're being very, very smart with the ball. This is not the time to lose control of it, and they're really being very prudent with what they're doing with the football.
And patient, which is something that drives opposing coaches crazy.
Well, John Shoup, the offensive coordinator, now Anthony Thomas has carried the ball 6 times on this drive, and there hasn't been anything cute about it. It's been smash mouth. If they get 1st down, great, but they've set themselves up to put points on the board.
3rd down and 6 from the 11. Make it the 14. Thomas outside to Bucky Jones, can't bring him down. Finally, he is wrapped up and devoured by Jarvis Green. Flag is 2nd down 10, 37-yard line. Falk out of the backfield from Brady. Urlacher, he slips by him. And finally, he is brought down by McMillan. Tackle just outside the 40-yard line, a gain of about 3.5.
And there's not much sit and look in Chicago's defense right now. They are buzzing around the field, and they are attacking Tom Brady in this offense.
What about Brady wearing these gloves, throwing the ball like McMahon and Phil Simms used to do?
Doug Flutie in Buffalo. Smaller hands, tacky gloves make it easier to grip the ball, but it doesn't make it easier to attack this defense.
3rd and 6. A gain of 3 on the play. For Troy Brown, he had to get up to the 47-yard line. Patriots 2 timeouts. Chicago has 3. It's 4th down.
There's no surprise here. This is 4-down territory. You've got to get a first. You've got to get the touchdown.
To the 47 for the first. 4th down and 3. Today they've hit the only other 4th down try. Brady fires the pass, and it's caught by Troy Brown, who is drilled by the other Brown, Mike Brown, no relation. A 13-yard pickup to the Chicago 43.
You want a good example of what happens when a defensive back's waiting for a guy? That's what happens. You're playing a cover 2, the safety's waiting and just gets the light Brown up.
Troy will take a breather on the side inside the 43. 1st and 10. Brady niftily moves up, and outside it goes, and it's caught by the rookie out of Notre Dame, David Gibbons, on a gain of 5. McMillan with the tackle to the 37-yard line.
A nice job, too. Chicago's defenders are keeping Weiss's offensive players inbounds. They'd like to be able to catch the ball, run out of bounds. They can't do it. The defense is keeping them inbounds and letting the clock run.
2nd down and 5 inside the 37. Brady again with the dart, and it's dropped. Incomplete at the 33-yard line. Dropped on the play by Branch.
What exactly do you think is soft about a zone defense with Brian Urlacher coming in like this? From the right side of your screen, Givens tries to catch it and gets a body full of Brian Urlacher. If they're not blitzing, doesn't mean they're not being aggressive. Because once the receiver catches the ball, these Bear defenders are lighting the Patriots up.
3rd down 5 inside the 37. And they're coming at him. Here comes Urlacher. There goes the pass. A one-handed catch by Kevin Falk. And a block downfield by Patton. And a Patriot touchdown. A 36-yard strike. Second touchdown pass today by Brady. Both times to Kevin Falk. Now trying for 2. Shotgun snap by Compton. And it goes right to Falk. And a block by Light. And look at the tackle by Brian Urlacher. And it stays 30-25. Chicago with 2:46 to 2-minute warning. 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Chicago Bears. Thomas weaves his way past the 35. Brought down by Lawyer Malloy and Ted Johnson. He gains 9.
Well, if you want somebody that knows how to run with the ball in these situations, get yourself a Michigan halfback. The clock.
78 of the 100 yards from Anthony Thomas today in the second half. 2nd down 1. Thomas again. Gursky got him high. Anthony Pleasant got him low, and they stop him right there. 1 today. Thomas in the backfield. And he's got the call, and he did not get it. Richard Seymour plugged the gap along with Anthony Pleasant and Ted Johnson. And New England's defense comes up with a huge defensive stand. No timeouts for New England. Brady 32 of 48, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 1st and 10. Great time. Fires a pass downfield, and it was caught. It was grabbed. David Patton makes the grab at the Chicago 37-yard line. 18-yard gain.
No reason to panic. Troy Brown makes a wonderful catch. David Patton makes a wonderful catch. I should say, don't panic, move quickly.
1st and 10 for Brady. Chased by Colvin. Dumps it off to Cam Cleveland, his tight end, who drops it. 2nd down and 10. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, then Becker, and then a CBS television event. Master Spy, the Robert Hansen story. That's all tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Minute and 21 seconds. You have 3 downs.
2nd down and 10 inside the 38 of Chicago. Brady, again, wonderful time. And feeds it off to running back Kevin Falk, who is wrapped up by Brian Robinson after a gain of 7. He's to the 30, and the clock continues to roll.
The key here now is poise. This is a test for a young quarterback like Brady. You're cutting your teeth on a legend. Can you finish it off?
3rd down and 3. Blocked and intercepted. And then dropped and fumbled after the pick. It may have been Brian Robinson, who has not made an interception in his career. He then fumbled the ball and recovered the ball.
The ball was intercepted by the Chicago player who fumbled the ball and recovered his own fumble. 1st down, Chicago.
Go.
Falk in the backfield. 2nd down and 10. Brady gets away from Colvin. Now here comes Colvin. He throws the ball. It's a completed pass. And it's caught by Falk, who's brought down by Urlacher at the 21. It's a gain of 3. 8th play of the drive from the Chicago 20. Brady gets away from Colvin and to the end zone. Caught by Patton. And a touchdown.
I have got to see that again to see if those feet were in. Tom Brady, kudos for having the coolness. I played with a guy named Montana in these situations, was very similar and just as cool.
Antoine Smith back in there. Mark Edwards, the fullback. And Brady sends Brown in motion. The fake to Smith. And Brady for 2, and he's got it. And it's 33-30, and so New England has bought a bit of insurance.